Green, green, green. They're going to go 3 wide.
And Andretti Carr moving up here in Mid-Ohio.
Turn number 4, side by side through the corner.
Renus DK and Robert McGinnis, a dead heat at the exit of turn number 2.
Side by side, and Oliver Askew scores.
And we are back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the second event of our opening day of action here on Thursday. Again, we welcome those of you tuning in on the Road to Indy TV app or on IndyPro2000.com or potentially roadtoindy.tv. Now, my name's Rob Howden, the voice of the Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. Welcome again to this iconic racetrack, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as we get set to go for the first of 3 races in the Indy Pro 2000 category. Again, drivers taking to this 2.439-mile, 14-corner racetrack. Let's have a look at the grid. Jumping right into it as the drivers have worked their way onto the racetrack already. And the grid as we get set to go. We'll see Artem Petrov on the pole positions, and all Juncos Racing front row. The 42 of Artem Petrov, a 120.273, qualifies on the pole. Bonus point for Artem. 2 times a winner this year. Stingray Robb, his teammate, who scored his first win in Indy Pro 2000. Stingray Robb at a Payette, Idaho in that number 2, starting in the second spot. Artem Petrov, of course, out of St. Petersburg, Russia. On row number 2, Canadian and Singaporean. That's who we have on row 2. Parker Thompson on the inside in the number 9 for D-Force Racing, looking for his first win of the year. On the outside, winner from the opening round at Road America, one of our points challengers, Daniel Frost. It's getting set to go. Frost with Turn 3 Motorsports, Parker Thompson with D-Force Racing. Road number 3, it'll be Hunter McElroy and Braden Eves, the 2 drivers that battled it out last year for the USF 2000 crown. Hunter McElroy out of Gold Coast, Australia, the rookie of the number 18 for Pabst Racing. Starting alongside New Albany, Ohio's Braden Eves for Exclusive Autosport. He has the number 1, the scholarship after winning USF 2000 last year. Row 4 will have Colin Kaminsky, second-year driver, after fourth-year driver in the series. First year, actually, in Indy Pro 2000. One of the front runners last year in USF 2000. Colin Kaminsky out of Homer Glen, Illinois, starting in the 7th position in the number 19, alongside your current point leader and the winner from Worldwide Technology Raceway, Devlin DeFrancesco, who now hails out of Miami, Florida. Row 5 will see Jacob Loomis alongside Antoine Camo. Row 6, Moises de Oliveira and Nate Aranda. Row 7, Bob Kaminsky and Manuel Suleiman. And starting at the tail of the field, having not getting any practice, no qualifying in, Corey Enders set to start in the 15th position. So again, field working its way out of turn number 12, 13, and now 14. We're about set to go racing here again. Final race of the day, qualifying for race 2 tomorrow. 2 events, round 3 and round 4, or rather 2 and round 3 tomorrow. But we're going to get this one here underway to cap off the Road to Indy component of this weekend. Is Indy GP at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Field set, Juncos on the inside, Juncos on the outside, contact! We're not going to go green as a couple drivers together deep in the field. I do not believe we went green, no. Actually, no, we do have the green flag flying. Indeed, it's the green flag flying. I think we could potentially go directly to full course yellow. You'll see the contact in there. 1 driver potentially off, 2 more struggling away. They'll work their way down into 1, 2, and 3, so we are underway in racing. I'm surprised we went green with the contact further back. I believe we got a car still stranded on the racetrack, but nonetheless, out of turn number 4 through 5 and 6 for the first time. Not sure if we're going to go yellow yet. Indeed, full course yellow here at start finish. So full course yellow underway. The opening corners in the books. We'll see how it all sets up. Yellow flags flying. Everybody coming down to a stop. One of the Juncos cars going further backwards. The AMR safety team quickly out to be able to get behind the drivers to work their way over to the corner. So that happened further back in the pack, and I want to say potentially involving Bob Kaminsky. Bob definitely involved. I want to say maybe Moises de Oliveira as well. We'll see. The number of drivers kind of getting caught up there. Some contact coming out as they were just starting to spool things up. Somebody obviously checked up a little bit, jumped on the gas a bit, then checked up. Somebody else trying to get out of the way. Chaos ensued deep in the field. Watching the drivers come through here now. We'll see how they resort them as well. Of course, they'll be getting on the radio. I'll tell you this now, folks. You don't often get a good shot at this, but I'm actually sitting right beside race control, and you can see them going to work here right now. Tony Kottman and Johnny Untz are having a really good look at the start here to get their best shot at potentially what happened. A couple drivers, at least one into pit lane already. You can see that. Driver locking it up, coming to get down to pit lane speed. That's one of the D-Force cars, I think. So that driver into pit lane, Bob Kaminsky and Manuel Suleiman. So that's Suleiman into pit lane. Kaminsky, I believe, the driver who is stranded on the racetrack. So Suleiman coming into pit lane, crew heading out to his car very quickly to have a good look at it. As they come across the line, Artem Petrov, P1, Parker Thompson into second. Third is Hunter McElroy. Fourth, Stingray Robb. Fifth, Braden Eves. Sixth is Devlin DeFrancesco. Seventh, Colin Kaminsky. Eighth, Nate Aranda. Ninth, Antoine Camo. 10th is Daniel Frost. 11th is Corey Enders. And again, we've got to get everybody to reset coming through here, because I would hazard a guess this may not be exactly the way they're going to line up when we go back to racing, because it was that mad dash coming out of turn number 4 through the switchback 5 and 6 down the straightaway. Then the yellow flag came out. So I believe once the yellow flag comes out, they'll freeze the grid at that point. So they're going to have to get a really good look at the videos and the replay to decide how they're going to set things up. But again, as I said, to get this opportunity to have a look at what's going on in race control, I think it's tremendous. The work, of course, being done. I think a lot of times people think that it's just a quick, easy decision. But no, a lot of discussion happening right now, a lot of looking at video to make sure it's done correctly. Kind of nice to be able to see behind the curtain to a certain extent. It'd probably be a good component for a future Road to Indy TV episode, maybe. Get a chance to see what happens, how this all works out, and what the process is when something like this happens on the racetrack. Because I don't want to say there's zero knee-jerk reaction. It's a process that they're going through of what they're doing to see exactly what happened here. Penalties would have to be laid down depending on the contact. There's a move around right there. So again, radio contact with the drivers. Jim Swintel, of course, one of the veterans of IndyCar race control, the voice of race control now as well, former flagman starter himself. And Jim, the voice that the drivers all hear on the radio when race control does come across. And he's, again, on the radio even more now, I believe, getting Stingray Robb to drive around the outside of Hunter McElroy. So as I said, the way that they came to the grid, or to the line when the checkered flag was coming out, rather the yellow flag was coming out, they essentially have to take a snapshot of what happened. Where were they? So we'll see the first change. There's Petrov. Indeed, Stingray Robb being moved up front. Let's see what else we got for a move here. Anybody else moving further back? So it'll be Stingray Robb into third. Hunter McElroy fourth. Braden Eves in fifth, I believe. Sixth, DeFrancesco. Seventh, Kaminsky. Eighth, Aranda. Ninth, Camo. 10th, Daniel Frost. Jacob Loomis in 12th behind Corey Enders, and then Moises de la Vera. Bob Kaminsky and Manuel Suleiman, the two drivers out of the race. We'll see if they're able to repair the machine of Suleiman to get him back out here. Manuel comes into the race sixth in points, and that's, I think, one of the key things. Unlike what we have in USF 2000, where Christian Rasmussen had such a massive lead with those 6 wins, and it will take a lot for everybody to catch back up to him, but it's definitely still doable, knowing that a DNF is around the corner for anyone. You can never count anybody out. You used to go back and look at the season with Pato O'Ward and Aaron Telitz and Pro Mazda, and I want to say that Pato won 6 of the first 7 races, and then Aaron turned the tides at Road America and came back and was actually able to steal the championship away at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, what it was called then. Of course, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca now. Much different here in Indy Pro, as really you go back to Parker Thompson in 8th position, and it's only 71 points. And you think about a triple header, there are 96 points up for grabs in a triple header. And if you start getting some DNFs, pretty easy to change that around. Devlin DeFrancesco with the lead coming in over Stingray Robb, coming off that big victory at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Figuring out whether or not we're ready to go back to green here. We'll flick back around, hopefully get a shot of them coming through 13 and 14. There's 13. That's actually 11. Into 12. There's 12. Let's fast forward a little more. I want to see if that pace car is going to duck on off. We got one driver coming in late here. Now, still full course yellow at start finish. Quick look over my shoulder. I'm essentially right here in the second floor of the pagoda, right across from start finish by the yard of bricks. So not the start really we were looking for in terms of getting that exciting run down into turn number 1. We did have some chaos, and it happened early. Again, hello to those of you tuning in on the Road to Indy TV app or on IndyPro2000.com. Let us know where you are watching from. We'd love to hear it. Feel free to send us a DM to the Road to Indy, any of the Road to Indy, whether it's Indy Pro 2000 on the Facebook page, Twitter, or Road to Indy Official on Instagram. You can send to the Road to Indy TV account. You can send to mine as well at the Road to Indy Insider. Love to know where you're listening from. So let's give you the lineup to reset, because I believe they've got everybody into position now. Artem Petrov, indeed, the leader from the pole. Parker Thompson able to jump up to second. Now they've got Hunter McElroy back into third and Stingray Robb fourth. Appears that they've reset that. Again, looking at more video, that's the whole concept. As I said, they continue to look at the video. So I believe Hunter McElroy back into third, so they've elected to move him to P3. Stingray Robb in fourth spot. Fifth is Braden Eves, sixth Devlin DeFrancesco, seventh Colin Kaminsky, eighth Nate Aranda, ninth Antoine Comeau, 10th Daniel Frost, 11th Corey Enders, 12th Moises De La Vera, and 13th will be Jacob Loomis. Bob Kaminsky, of course, out with the damage, and we have not seen Manuel Suleiman back on the racetrack as of yet either. All right, pace car has bailed out and has pulled ahead enough that they're going to be able to make the move. Big jump here for Artem Petrov. That seems a little early and a little often. Yeah, he's coming hard on the out of turn number 12 and 13 already. That's a big early start for Petrov. In fact, we got a battle for second already between Thompson and McElroy. I know that at Mid-Ohio we have the punch-off line as they come out of the final corner. I'm not sure where the actual punch-off is, the start line here for IMS and the road course. I'll make sure I ask that. But here's a pass to the inside. Hunter McElroy is going to make a move around Parker Thompson. So move McElroy to second. Thompson goes back to third. Fourth is Stingray Robb. Look at that battle, fifth, sixth, and seventh on top of each other. That's DeFrancesco right in there. Braden Eves might have been able to get a spot. I think Eves may be up to P4. Wow, there's a lot of action here. No, Eves still P5. There's P5 is Eves. I think 6 now is Colin Kaminsky. Stingray Robb going to work on Parker Thompson. Luckily, no. Oh, one driver off. That's DeFrancesco. DeFrancesco and Kaminsky have gone off. DeFrancesco fully off and will roll back on the other side. Oh, almost taken out there. That's a side-by-side action. Oh, aggressive as DeFrancesco trying to hold him off. That might have been Antoine Comeau, I think. Look at this side. Look at this action further back now. DeFrancesco on full defense mode. Everybody stacking up behind him. Antoine Comeau's in there. Enders, Frost, De La Vera, Loomis. Down into turn number 7, the battle between DeFrancesco and Kaminsky did not go their way. That might be Kaminsky right in there as well. Let's reset as they come across the line again. Lap 5, Petrov the leader. McElroy second. Stingray Robb third. Parker Thompson fourth. Braden Eves fifth. 2.4 seconds back to Antoine Comeau. He was able to get by DeFrancesco, went off the racetrack and straight across. Another driver off here. That might have been Camo. That's going to give DeFrancesco another position. Yeah, Antoine Camo, I believe, heading off. So DeFrancesco up to 6th, Camo 7th, Kaminsky 8th, Frost 9th, Aranda 10th. Braden Eves starting to close up a little bit here on Parker Thompson. And again, just like we saw in USF 2000, the point leader, Devlin DeFrancesco, not up front like he was at Worldwide Technology Raceway. There he is there in that yellow and orange machine for Andretti Steinbrenner Autosport. Well back. Front 5 drivers able to stretch away. So this is going to be one of those swaps in the championship battle in this particular race. Now we have 3 races here. This is the first of a triple header for both USF 2000 and Indy Pro. So a good opportunity for the championship to really start to develop, whether it's forward or backward for whatever driver it may be. Christian Rasmussen, of course, his first non-victory, non-podium of the year after 6 wins in USF 2000. Big victory for, as we said, the drivers that were able to finish in front of him. Eduardo Barrichello, a strong win in USF 2000. Reese Gold right there as well. Kiko Porto. Oh, there's an outbreaker there. Kaminsky going too deep into turn 1. He'll lose a couple of spots. Nate Aranda able to slip through. These drivers further back in the pack battling it out right now. But it's Artem Petrov and Stingray Robb, P1 and P2, although Petrov with a 1.5 second advantage. He's trying to grab his 3rd win of the year. Petrov winning at Road America, round number 2. Won at Mid-Ohio as well, so 2 victories. Trying to get his 3rd natural terrain road course win. Of course, the only street circuit we may see this year would be St. Petersburg at the end of October. But Petrov looking to grab his 3rd win at his 3rd different venue. Artem comes into the championship sitting in the 5th position. And an 8-pointer in the opening round at St. Petersburg, tough. And, of course, had some issues as well on the 3rd round at Mid-Ohio. Looking to try to rebound here. Another win would most definitely get him back where he needs to be. DeFrancesco now down to 6th position, 5.2 seconds back. Daniel Frost has been an absolute charger at every event we've been to. Doesn't seem to have the speed out of the gate right now. Daniel started 4th, got shuffled back. There's your lead group right there, your top 5 drivers in a row. Petrov, Stingray Robb, Hunter McElroy, Parker Thompson, Braden Eves. 4 different teams in the top 5, but Juncos runs 1-2. Solid run for Juncos Racing out front now. Could have a battle for sure between Braden Eves and Parker Thompson. Eves now running in the 5th spot, trying to put that pressure on. Remember, a 20-lap race for drivers here in Indy Pro 2000. Braden Eves, a double winner last year here in USF. Coming in and really putting his stamp on the season championship. He got up to a fantastic start. Softened up on the success midway through the season a little bit as Hunter McElroy kind of was one of the drivers to move to the forefront. Darren Keene and Christian Rasmussen splitting the wins on the streets of Toronto. And then Hunter kind of got things rolling at Mid-Ohio and Portland and was able to really make things tight heading to the finale at Laguna Seca. Braden stepping up on that last weekend to do what he needed to do to win the championship. Here comes Stingray Robb with a big head of steam coming down to turn number 7. Does he make a move early? Here comes Stingray Robb looking to the inside. No, not enough for Stingray. He backs off a little bit. Had a good look, but wow, they are battling it out through turns number 8, 9, over to 10. Through 11 now. I'll tell you, Hunter McElroy will be loving this. He just wants them to battle up front. This is so strikingly similar to what we saw in USF 2000 when Kiko Porto and Reese Gold were out front. And another Pabst driver, Eduardo Barrichello, able to take full advantage of the leaders battling it out and get up there and scrap with them. That's what Barrichello did. He was able to get in front and win. McElroy looking to do the same thing. Big move down to the inside on, I believe, Stingray Robb. Is McElroy going to go to P2? He'll go to the inside. Good run on the outside, though, for Stingray. But no, to the inside, book it. Hunter McElroy to P2. 6 different winners in 7 races. Hunter McElroy going by Artem Petrov, not Stingray Robb. It was actually Stingray into the lead. Petrov now going back to third. McElroy would be the 7th different winner of the 2020 campaign here in Indy Pro 2000. This category, stellar this year. 3rd year with the Tatis PM18 chassis. Everything dialed in. Chassis, tires, aero, the engine package from Elite. What a show we're putting on here right now. This is great. Top 5 drivers separated by just over 2.5 seconds. McElroy now setting out to see if he can't reel in Stingray Robb. Artem Petrov coming in to the clutches now of Parker Thompson. Coming into this particular run here, the leader in the points, Devlin DeFrancesco. About a 25-point lead over Stingray Robb. This would most definitely bring Stingray closer. Actually, it's going to bring everybody closer. Braden Eves in third. Daniel Frost will lose ground where he is right now. Petrov would close up. Parker Thompson would close up. So that's all the way back to 8th position. Hunter McElroy in 7th. He'd close up. And we're still a long way to go. Halfway point. 10 laps down, 10 to go. Stingray Robb looking to try to win that second round. I'll tell you, Stingray getting that win at Mid-Ohio, and I've said this so many times of my 10 years of calling the races here on the road to Indy. Once you get that first win in the books, the next ones start coming a lot easier. There's a level of confidence. It's a wave. Sometimes it's like opening the floodgates and drivers will just win a bunch of races. Stingray was in a major fight trying to go to second with Cody Swanson in the Freedom 90 at Lucas Oil Raceway. Probably got a little too aggressive and burned the tires off a little bit. He faded late. Faded early, actually, then held on, then actually faded a bit more even late in the race, but still was a decent result for him. Nonetheless, came back and had a great battle with Braden Eves, ended up finishing in the 4th position, I believe, at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And now looking to try to see if he can't put a win in the books. Hunter McElroy looking to score his first Indy Pro 2000 victory. Runner-up last year in the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. Oh, big lockup coming into turn number 1 for Hunter McElroy. Is he pushing from P2? I think so. Huge lockup. And that wasn't just a little one. That was huge. And I think, as we all know, once you've locked up a front tire like that, if it's aggressive and significant, it's going to be easier to lock it up every time. You've got that light flat spot. So we'll keep an eye on Hunter to see if he's flat spots again coming into 7 or potentially into 1 again. He's going to have to be really gentle. You can see how much closer Artem Petrov is closed up. This is playing into the hands of Stingray Robb. As they run on the racetrack, Stingray Robb would close to within 11 points of Devlin DeFrancesco. Parker Thompson was back, I believe, in 7th or 8th in points as they run. 67 back. So would have closed up a ton of points too. This championship's going to be good. As I said, just looking at the points, you got to think out of the drivers who have won already, which consists of everybody in the top 5, DeFrancesco, Robb, Eves, Frost, and Petrov. Next guys to look for would be Manuel Suleiman, Hunter McElroy, and Parker Thompson. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th in the points. Suleiman out of the race with the contact early, so you got to think right now, Hunter McElroy and Parker Thompson, who have shown top 5 speed, could be the two to fight for it. A really good battle further back, too. We know Parker Thompson, he's working his way up on Stingray Robb. Now here comes Parker. He's close enough. That's Artem Petrov. Parker's going to go all the way down to the inside of the racetrack. Check this out. Couldn't quite go. Oh, there's Artem way deep in the corner, and that's going to allow both Thompson and Braden Eves to come through. He was blocking all the way to the inside, coming down Holman Boulevard. Thompson, instead of going wide right, tried to pinch it down the inside, see if he could get Petrov to secede the corner. He didn't. But what he did do was overcook it to the inside. Didn't get on the brakes quick enough. Remember, there's no grip down to the inside of the racetrack either. Pushed off, not all the way off the racetrack, but enough to put Parker Thompson to P3 and Braden Eves up to 4th. This just keeps changing things in a big way. I love this. DeFrancesco, as they run on the racetrack with 7 laps to go, would have 198 points. Let's keep watching this fight further back. Oh, this is Petrov going at it with ease. Petrov is going to cook it through there. He gets back by. Petrov goes to P4 again. So this is a heated fight with Braden Eves. Eves looking to the inside of 4. Petrov locks the brake up a little bit as Eves backs out of it. This scrap could allow Devlin DeFrancesco to come back in from P6. Nonetheless, DeFrancesco is going to see a hit on the championship point lead, even after that big win in St. Louis. Eves will have to go to work now trying to find another way by Petrov. As they came across the line with Eves in 4th, that would have moved him to within 25 points of the leader. That's the battle we got going here. This is tight in this championship scrap. Still 2 more races to go, too. Juncos Racing's looking pretty good here at the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'll tell you that. Makes you start to think a little bit. They can go on a streak here, like we said, with 3 races at a track. If you really hit the setup and you're nailing it, and it's all working, and you can get 3 wins, you do some of the stuff that Christian Rasmus has done this year. That gives you an opportunity to make a really big change in the championship swing. That's Stingray Rob's focus here right now. You know, we go back to last year, Rasmus Lint for Juncos Racing winning both races here in Indy Pro 2000. Stingray Rob finished 2nd in race number 2. He was 4th in race number 1, so 4th and 2nd for Stingray, but Juncos essentially 3 podiums, 4 top 5s with their drivers. Not surprising they've come out of the gate strong here. $14 laps in the books last time by. Stingray Rob's lead 1.99 seconds, almost over that 2-minute mark or 2-second mark. And that's the gap you want to get where the draft no longer plays a role whatsoever, and the guy behind you starts thinking more about holding on to second. You essentially start taking away the opportunity. Try to demoralize the driver behind you a little bit. Well, you know what? He's just pulling away. I'm pushing as hard as I can. That's Hunter McElroy right now. He's just thinking about lap times. Can he get closer? Locked it up again. What did I tell you? He is working that tire. It looks to be the right front for Hunter McElroy. Locked it up again. Last time by, lap 15, Stingray Rob, 0.6 of a second quicker than McElroy, 0.2 quicker than Parker Thompson. Not a good lap for Braden Eves. He lost a ton. In fact, Braden Eves, if we hold this shot here, Braden Eves is under attack. Look at this. DeFrancesco has got by. Braden Eves has lost a spot to DeFrancesco, and now Daniel Frost. Potential right now, an issue for Braden Eves. Spotters telling me a potential vibration in the car. So Braden just trying to hold on now. He's trying to fight off Daniel Frost. So tough deal here for Braden. I don't know if it's contact or whatever, but he's got a vibration potentially in the right rear. Don't throw it. Oh, he spun. There's contact. He's over. Braden Eves, hard impact, upside down in turn number 11. That is hard impact on Braden Eves. He is upside down. That car went up and over quickly. It will go red here. Braden Eves, hard impact between he battling it out side by side with Daniel Frost. The AMR safety team will roll here. So hard impact with a contact between Daniel Frost and Braden Eves fighting it out for sixth position. Red flag has flown. Car went over and onto the roll hoop and then made more frontal contact as it rolled back out towards the wall, made contact with the wall. It's upside down at this point. The AMR safety team, of course, working their way there right now to Braden Eves. Red flag flying, as we said. The AMR safety team is there. I will try to update as possible. They're going to see if they can't get this car flipped over to a certain extent. Drivers will come to a stop on, I believe, Holman Boulevard. Again, that was the hit itself. The car just kind of, the way the contact was wheel-to-wheel contact, and the car kind of shot up into the air and really kind of pirouetted up in the air and came down. Again, the AMR safety team is with the car at this point. They're going to try to get this thing flipped over because it came to a stop upside down. As they run on the racetrack, Stingray Robb was the leader with 4 laps remaining. Hunter McElroy in second, Parker Thompson third, Artem Petrov in fourth, fifth Devlin DeFrancesco. Again, additional safety team members, because to be able to get this car flipped over, obviously they're going to want to get some more people there, and they're rolling in there right now to make sure that they can get this car turned over as they need. They're going to have to get drivers on the other side, or rather the safety team members on the other side so the car can come over. That's hard impact for Braden Eves, and that's going to be tough. I'll tell you, for the remainder of this weekend for Braden, this is going to be tough for the driver who won the championship last year in USF 2000. So again, 4 laps remaining. They've moved the drivers around the inside of the racetrack because, of course, they're able to use that essentially the out lane coming off when you're running the 500, keeping them down to the bottom. So another lap will go in the books, I believe, as they come back around here. I can't see this getting back going. We only have, I believe, 4 laps to go unless they go red flag here. They'll keep the cars circulating. The wrecker has now come out here as well to bring that car in. That car is going to be in rough shape. I don't know if that car is not coming back this weekend, I don't think. Every corner of that car has been ripped off. Again, the safety team right there with the Braden Eves. Again, one of the key components of this program with running in the road to Indy is the fact that we do have the fortune of having the AMR IndyCar safety team with us at all of our events. They're going to work on it right now here. So again, from what I saw as the way it happened, I know that they're having a really good look at it right now. It appears to me when they were going side by side coming into the corner, Braden, I think, got up on the inner curb of the racetrack. That's at least what I saw. And as he got up on the inner curb, the car kind of course, started to spin sideways, got up, and it kind of rotated. Frost at that point was all the way by. And I have a feeling that what happened is that as the car started to rotate, think about it, you're pinned coming out of turn number 10 through 11. The thing's trucking, you're flat out. He got pitched down a little bit, or at least was up on the curb. The car rotated clockwise and got sideways and likely just bit. Once it got sideways and started sliding, it hit, and potentially at that point then and it didn't do it's not like it barrel rolled a number of times as I recall and watching it live. It seemed like it just kind of got in the air and came back down, as I said. Again, laps going down, as we said, lap 17 now in the books. I have to believe with what we're dealing with here now, you can see the drivers circulating themselves through the bottom part of the racetrack, that this thing's just going to run through to the end. I don't think that they're going to bring the end. We have 18 minutes remaining, but I think they expect this is going to be, number one, a long cleanup. And, of course, with the severity of the accident, anytime something like this happens, they're going to take a long time to make sure everything is fine with the driver, because that was a pretty significant impact. Stingray Robb, if indeed they run this to the end, will likely be the race winner. I can't see us going back to green. Hunter McElroy would be second. Parker Thompson in third. Fourth spot would be Artem Petrov. Fifth, Devlin DiFrancesco. Sixth, Daniel Frost. Seventh, Colin Kaminsky. Eighth, Corey Enders. Ninth, Nate Aranda. And 10th, Antoine Camo as they run on the racetrack. Yeah, indeed. Looking at live timing, they have elected to checker this race, so that is going to end the event. Again, doing what we can to potentially see some replays here off camera, of course. Stingray Robb will get the victory. A big win for him, his second win of the season. Hunter McElroy in second spot, Parker Thompson third, Artem Petrov in fourth, and Devlin DiFrancesco fifth. Sixth, Daniel Frost. Seventh, Colin Kaminsky. Eighth, Corey Enders. Ninth, Nate Aranda. And 10th, as I said, for Antoine Camo.
You know, I was pretty nervous at the beginning of that race. Going into turn one, I had a good jump on Artem, but got pushed a little bit wide on the exit of number one and into two. So went in the grass and fell back a few positions, and on that restart, just had to keep working my way through the field. So I was glad to come back, challenge for that win, and hold it through the end of the race. All the glory goes to God on this one. The team did a great job giving me the car I needed for the race. We were really quick, but I'm a little nervous to see how Braden's doing. Hopefully he's all right. We'll be praying for him, and hopefully he'll be back tomorrow.